Well, hey there, YouTube. It's Petey. Last night I was watching Pete, what's his name? Peter Frampton. Uh, the show is called Gibson, the Collection. It's a guy named Mark Ignacy, and he will go to a musician's house and they go through his guitar collection. So they focus on the vintage Gibson gear, but there's always Fender, Gretsch, or what have you. So it's very entertaining and enlightening me. I don't know a real lot about vintage gear. And again, I'm not one of these people who likes fetishizing the old gear. I almost think it would be better to bury my head in the sand and not know about the disparity between how great the gear was that they made back in the old days and how crappy it is now. Nonetheless, the show Gibson, the Collection, I've watched a lot of the episodes. It's highly entertaining, so I'm recommending you check that out. They talk about the flood in Nashville 2010. There was a really bad flood. They had severe weather, and they announced they were going to open the dam, because if they didn't, it was going to collapse. And they claimed, oh, it'll only come up a couple of feet. Well, it came up like 6 feet. So everything was destroyed. Now, Frampton, he mentioned the place that they were storing. He lost 40 vintage instruments. And the place was not insured for flood damage, but his manager had taken out a flood insurance policy. So, he also tells the story. Peter Frampton has a story called The Phoenix. And if you're unaware of that, that's one of the highlights in his episode of Mark Ignacy, Gibson, the Collection, Peter Frampton episode. So definitely check that out. You can just go and type in Peter Frampton Phoenix and watch separate videos of that. But if you've got the time if you're looking for something enjoyable, Gibson, the Collection, that's it. Now, I'm also recommending something a little bit different, off the beaten path. It's a band called Cojum Dip. Now, there's also a band, Tally Hall. It's the same guy. He's of Turkish descent, and his name is Bora Karaka. So, Cojum Dip wore luchador mask, luchador is a Mexican wrestler. I saw a video of them performing live. They were playing Mega Man on a giant screen, which is a Nintendo game. And the music it's not pop or hair metal. I don't know hardly anything about Cojum Dip. I just know they came highly recommended. I checked them out last night, and I really liked what I heard from a first listen perspective. There was one particular piece called Moon Waltz, which was more operatic, but that ended with a NASA com beep. So whenever the spaceman will do their spacewalk, they'll be out, or maybe even when they're just in the ship, when they're communicating, whenever they're done talking, the microphone automatically or somehow it makes a beep noise, a real high-pitched beep. It's different than that beep that you hear in a heart monitor, but it's similar. And it's always caught my ear because I like having those type of sound effects in my collection. That way I can use them. I've been doing this trick. I use drum software, and I'll come up with the drum tracks. And rather than have traditional percussion, I will use beep, bloop, two coconut slapping together with an echo on it. That's a great one to use. So if you would like to learn more about that, I'm going to have another video where I show how I do that, show that in action. And I'm also going to do another video with this piece of music where we'll do it's called Play Along with Petey. I've done this before. I'll put up one of my backing tracks that I make here on my computer, and I'll put up a video where it'll give you the key of the song, what key, and that key in this piece is just going to be C and G. And you can play along with Petey. The key will change, it'll tell you C, and then the music will change. I tend to have the indicator, the letter will change slightly before the meter where you need, so your eyes will tell you, oh, I need to change to G now, and then you hit the G and it'll be right in time. So I try to do a good job at it. It's just C and G. It's hard to screw that up. And you can play along with Petey at home with your own guitar in your own style. So maybe that would be fun for you. And I'm going to play it for you now, but this is kind of cheating. You should do your own thing, but this is basically... That's how I play it, but no cheating on the play along with Petey. That's for you, because see, then you can make your own video of it in response, and then in a few months, my wife and I will perform this live. My wife plays bass, I play the guitar. We'll perform it live outside. We'll do a remote. And you can hear my version of it with me playing with my crappy missing two fingers version, Petey two-finger version. You can hear how bad I sound compared to how good you sound, the guy with all four of your fingers. Does that sound like a fun one? Does that sound like a plan? Anyway, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Definitely check out the Mark Agnesi, the excellent show, Gibson, The Collection. I've recommended this before. It's highly enjoyable if you like drooling over vintage guitars, and I do. I just don't like fetishing or talking about other people's stuff. I keep that to myself. And the other one is the Phoenix story. Great story by Peter Frampton. And we can't forget Boca Raton. What's that guy's name? Bora Caracca, and his infinitely interesting cojum dip band, and also he was honorary sixth member. He played accordion and whistle for a band called Tally Hall out in LA. Cojum dip was Ann Arbor. So definitely some cool stuff that I've recommended today. You can check that out if you'd like. Love for you to leave a comment in response. That being said, you know the drill. Hug your pets. Try to keep warm. Hey, it's coming up on try to keep cool. And peace.